recording. Computer. All right, great. I don't get a recording in progress. That's interesting, but okay. So good morning, everybody. Good morning to all of those watching the replay. By the way, I have, thank you, Charlotte, for pointing out that I'm going to put the links a bit differently so you can click in them directly in the guide section. So it directly the YouTube opens, that it's a clickable link, because right now it's just a text. I don't know why, but I'm going to figure that out today so you guys can directly click on it and it's easier for you. Okay. So now that we've covered the simple logistics part, today's topic is going to be joy. And I actually wanted to bring this in a little bit later in the program, but we've been getting a lot of 3s and 4s lately in terms of the energetic balance between 1 and 10. So I do want to bring the topic of joy a little bit earlier. And tomorrow, I actually want to cover how to walk with sadness and joy at the same time. Okay, so Heather, that one's going to be for you. So if you want to join that one, I think that will be a really good one for you to join. So joy. The thing is that we actually often don't realize, but we have a lot of power over our emotions. So yesterday I showed you the choose again method, right? So that is the method to when you're feeling a negative thought or negative emotion or something is like holding on to us a little bit, how can we choose a different feeling and a different thought that is better than the one we currently have? Like, how can we climb up the energy scale? And so that is one thing that we can do. But the other thing we can do is generally choose joy overall. So we can choose joy and happiness and gratitude is an emotion that we can choose to feel. And sometimes what's holding us back, like I said, is that we're actually sad. So our general state is sad because we're going through a difficult time, like a breakup, illness in the family, big things that happen, right? Big traumatic things that happen, but we still get to experience joy. And so what I want you to do today is I'm not gonna talk too much or too long today, but what I really want you to do is actually use this time right now to think about, like, when was the last time you really had a good laugh? Like, when was the last time you laughed so hard you almost peed in your pants? Okay, so I can tell you that the last time this happened for me was on New Year's Eve, because we had like a small dinner party and they had like this karaoke thing. And the guys decided to sing All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. And it was hilarious because they got it so wrong and they made such a ridiculous thing out of it that we were like, we couldn't stop ourselves from laughing. It was hilarious. Okay. And to give you another example of where I experience joy every day, by the way, and I look for specific moments during the day to experience joy. So I experience joy, gratitude, and beauty, right? And yesterday, for example, I experienced gratitude and joy when I was out with my horses and I was just looking at them and I was like, wow, they're so beautiful. I'm so grateful to have them, and they just give me so much joy. Like I just look at them and I just smile. Like I can't stop smiling. I look at them and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. This is so cool. And I love them so much. And it's so much fun to spend time with them. Sometimes they're annoying. Like one of them yesterday, I said to her, I was like, okay, you're on the sales list because you're annoying me. But overall, the experience is joy. Like I look at them and I'm like, wow, they give me so much joy. And I create these moments several times during the day where I just sit for a couple of minutes. It doesn't have to be that you take an hour. It's like, okay, how am I going to experience joy now? Like, how, blah, blah, blah. But it's really about paying attention to the energy and thinking about, okay, what were those moments of joy in my life? Like, can you find some moments of joy? Like Heather wrote, that her grandchild Olivia is with her today? Like, how can you create moments today where you can have so much joy with her? Like, is there something specific she would love to do? Like, is there something she's been talking about for some time? Could you carve out some time during the day that you can do this? You know, is there anything else that you would, you know, is there anything else you can do in order to really bring joy into your life and really focus on it today and really be aware of, oh, is there something small I can do in order to experience joy? Like at the if you do something random today, like at the supermarket, can you buy something for yourself that gives you joy? Or can you give joy to somebody else? That's also very powerful. And you can give joy to somebody else by doing something very simple. And that is saying something nice to somebody else. So for example, I do this a lot, and sometimes people are a bit weird, but then they're like, oh, this is actually really nice. Because these days people don't really like to get talked to. But sometimes at the supermarket, I just say to the person in front of me something nice. Like I just say, oh, I love your shoes. Like those of you that know me a bit better know I love high heels. So when somebody's wearing a really nice pair of high heels, I say, wow, I really love your shoes. Like they're really nice. Or you have, did somebody ever tell you that you have really beautiful hair? Or, you know, I actually take a moment to look into the cashier's eyes and say, thank you so much. And they're sometimes like, okay, for what? You know, but it's just about connecting with people for a moment and being grateful and giving them joy, that it makes a huge difference in people's lives. So if we have a hard time experiencing joy for ourselves, sometimes it helps if we can experience joy for somebody else. So Heather says, yeah, she enjoys so much being with her grandchild, and she's there for the whole week. Amazing, right? So you can really pick up some memories and experience that you want to make. Like I'm sure you have on your intention list, you have that you want to create memories with your grandchild, you want to create memories with your kids. And that is something that is so powerful, that when you do it out of the energy of experiencing joy, is like, hey, what can we do this week that gives both of us so much joy? Like what specific games can we play? What specific activities can we do, right? So it doesn't really matter who it is with. So in this case, Heather, your grandchild, but if you can pick anybody else you can experience joy with, or bring other people joy, like call a friend that you haven't spoken to for a long time, you know, and just say, hey, or send them a message and say, hey, how have you been? I just thought of you today. You know, like find ways and really sit down and make a list of what are the things that give you joy. And I just want you to set the intention for 24 hours to actively look for joy, and then to be aware of it and to potentially write it down, like different things, and write it down. Or you can do it the other way around, write it down first. Like when was the last time you laughed really hard? When was the last time something happened that you really enjoyed? And just write it down and see, can you recreate it in your everyday life? Okay. So this is something that I really want you to do, like dedicate these 24 hours to finding joy as much as you can, and tapping into the energy of joy. And you will find that at the beginning, it may be a bit like hard, but it gets to be much easier. And if you want, you can, I think it would really benefit other people in the group if you share some of the activities that you do, so that when other people go through this exercise, they will have an easier time in going through this exercise of joy as well. Okay, because at the beginning, it's not so easy. So at the beginning, it's more like, joy. Well, I don't know. Let's see, what can I do joy with? But the more we do it, and the more actively we think about it, and the more aware we are of it, the more we can experience it and pull it into our life. And even Gunnel, for you, even though you have a cold and you still feel pain over the fall, you will still find ways in order to experience joy. Okay. All right. Are there any questions? Nope. Okay, yeah, this was a bit of a
Yes.
shock.
Yeah. I have a question. So do you want us to record moments of joy in the next 24 hours, to write it in our book? I feel joy, or I felt joy when, blah, blah, blah.
The idea is to find as many opportunities as you can for when you felt joy, so that when there comes a time of when it's harder for you to find joy, that you have some examples of like, oh yeah, I can do this, or oh yeah, I can do this, or I can do this, or I can do this, right? So that you have like a bit of a catalog of things that give you joy. Makes sense?
Good. Mm-hmm.
Gunnar, do you have a question?
No.
No, okay, just because I just saw you on the screen. Okay, lovely. All right, everybody, I wish you a fabulous, fabulous day. Tomorrow we're gonna go on to walking with joy and sadness at the same time. And just losing my voice, I don't know why. And yeah, enjoy this, obviously, right? Give it some positive energy, some positive vibes. Really go through this going like, yay, this is amazing. Like this is the energy I want you guys to be in, okay? All right, and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao, bye-bye.